Two veterans file the same claim, the same evidence, the same day. One gets a decision in 4 months, the other waits 14. Same VA, same regulation, same evidence. The only difference is one decision they made before they ever hit submit. That decision is which lane they filed in. There are two, the fully developed claim and the standard claim, and picking the wrong one for where you are today can cost you months or cost you the whole claim. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which lane you are ready for and what happens if you choose wrong. Here is what nobody explains before you file. These two lanes are not a better option and a worse option. They are a trade. One is faster, but puts the whole evidence burden on you. The other is slower, but the VA shares that burden with you. Choose based on what you actually have in hand today, not on which one sounds better. Start with the standard claim because it runs on a regulation that is genuinely on your side. 38 CFR 3.159, the VA's duty to assist. Most veterans have never heard of it, and it is one of the most powerful things working in your favor. Here's what it actually obligates the VA to do. Once you file a substantially complete claim, the VA is legally required to make reasonable efforts to help you gather your evidence. It must request your service and federal records for you. It must order a C&P exam when one is needed, and if the first records request comes back empty, the regulation requires them to try again. That is not a courtesy. It is a duty. Why does it exist? Because Congress decided the burden of proving a claim should not fall entirely on the veteran who lived it. When you file standard, you step into that protection on purpose. You are not carrying the whole load alone because the law says you do not have to. Now the fully developed claim, the opposite deal. Filing FDC is you certifying to the VA that everything is already in. Every record, every piece of evidence, nothing else coming. That word, certifying, is the whole thing. You are formally stating there is nothing left to develop, so the VA can skip the help and go straight to deciding. So the two lanes are not fast versus slow for no reason. Standard is slower because the VA is doing work for you. Fully developed is faster because you already did that work yourself. Same destination, a decision on your claim, two completely different paths to reach it. Here's the trade in one line: speed for burden or burden shared for time. That is the entire decision, and once you see it this way, the choice stops being about which lane sounds better and starts being about where you actually are. The fully developed claim is faster, but the full evidentiary burden sits on you at filing. The standard claim is slower, but the VA carries part of that burden with you. Neither one is automatically better. They are better or worse only for where you stand today. Understand exactly what you are signing when you file fully developed. You are certifying 3 things: that all your private medical evidence is submitted, that all your service records are in the file, and that no additional evidence is coming. You are telling the VA the record is complete at intake. Here is what that certification buys you: faster processing because there is no development loop to sit in, one clean pass to a decision, and priority review because you handed them a complete record instead of a work in progress. When your evidence is truly ready, this is the fastest path there is. But here's the cost, and it is the part paid services gloss over. If your evidence is thin, the claim gets decided on exactly what you handed them, not on what you could have built. There's no pause while the record catches up. You certified it was complete, so the VA takes you at your word and decides. Standard is the reverse trade. You accept a longer timeline because the claim sits in the development loop while the VA pulls records and schedules your exams. But that wait buys something real. The VA orders the exams that establish your diagnosis, pulls the federal records you could not get on your own, and late arriving evidence can still land before the decision is made. So neither lane wins on paper. Fully developed wins when your evidence is already complete. Standard wins when it is not yet. The entire question is which of those two describes you right now. So how do you know which lane fits you today? You ask yourself a few honest questions about what you actually have in hand. Not what you are planning to get, not what you think is coming. What is in your possession right now, today? Question 1. Do you have your military medical records in hand? And have you read them? In hand, read, understood, not requested. not waiting in the mail, not sitting in a folder you never opened. Here is why it matters. To file fully developed, you are certifying all your records are already in the file, and you cannot honestly certify that if you have never seen them. If they are not in hand and read, you are a standard filer today, and that is the duty to assist doing its job. Question 2. Do you have a current, formal diagnosis for every condition you intend to claim? Everyone, and formal means named by a medical professional in your records, not a symptom you live with or something you are pretty sure you have. Fully developed is decided on the record as it stands, and a condition with no diagnosis is a condition with no evidence. If even one is missing, standard lets the VA order the exam and build that diagnosis for you. Question 3. Have you identified your nexus for every condition? The nexus is the bridge, the medical opinion connecting your service to your current diagnosis. For fully developed, that bridge has to already exist, and here's the hard rule underneath it. No nexus means no proven cause, and no proven cause means no grant. If you are still missing that bridge for any condition, standard is where the C&P examiner can develop it for you. Those first 3 are about evidence. The last one is about time. How much of your intent to file window is left? If you have real time on it, file standard and use the runway, then convert to fully developed later once the record is complete. But if your window is closing and your evidence is genuinely strong, file fully developed now and protect your effective date before it shuts. Put it together. 3 questions about your evidence, 1 about your timing. If every honest answer is yes, you are ready for fully developed. If even one is no, standard is not a consolation prize. It is the smarter lane for exactly where you are today. Now the part that takes the pressure off the whole decision. The lane you pick at filing is not permanent. The regulation is built to let real claims move because real evidence arrives on its own schedule. A nexus opinion finally comes in. A diagnosis you did not have at filing gets made. Your lane can change when your evidence changes. Standard can convert to fully developed. This is the common one. You filed standard because your record was not ready. You used the time to complete it, and now that everything is in, you move into the faster lane to capture the speed. You waited until the evidence earned the lane. It also runs the other way. Fully developed can drop to standard. If you certified a complete record, but something turns out to need development you did not see coming, converting pulls the duty to assist back in. It is a safety valve, so a thin FDC does not just get denied, but here is the discipline. Convert only when the evidence earns it. The lane should follow the record, never the other way around. And through all of it, one thing does not move. Your effective date is protected either way, from the day of your intent to file. Converting lanes never costs you your back pay. So here's the whole thing. Plain. 2 lanes, 1 real regulation behind the help. 38 CFR 3.159. The fully developed claim trades your complete evidence for speed. The standard claim trades time for the VA's help building the record. Neither is better. One fits where you are today. And the honest truth most veterans need to hear is this. If you are early, if your records are not all in hand, if a diagnosis or a nexus is still missing, you are a standard filer. And that is exactly right. Filing standard when your evidence is not ready is not the slow choice. It is the smart one. Let the VA do the work the law says it owes you, and file fully developed later once your record has earned that speed. You do not have to hold all 4 questions in your head. We built you a tool called the Lane Selector. Answer the same questions about your records, your diagnoses, your nexus, and your intent to file window. And it tells you which lane you are ready for today. The answer changes as your evidence grows, so come back to it for every claim. The link is in the description. It's built, it's waiting, it's yours. Use it. Nothing here is a promise of any particular rating. Every claim is different. What we give you is the cleanest way we know to execute. For Guard and Reserve, women veterans, step-by-step, or benefits news, subscribe to the channel that fits your fight. Before you can decide what evidence you have, you need to see what the VA already has on you. There is a single file that holds every record, every rating, every note the VA has ever made about your claim, and most veterans have never laid eyes on it. It is called your C file. Watch that one next. There's gotta be another way, and this is it.